Yeah, exactly. It's probably in the toiletry bag with his all-in-one shampoo and his shaving.
I think Meghan totally missed the memo, the message, which is that, yes, having a title is somewhat impressive in Hollywood. Not a lot of people have that, but very, 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 very few, even actors, have the level of following and the level of influence that the Kardashians, they have seen the great results of that. And Meghan Markle just can't do any of that. And she's also not authentic. And the Kardashians, like them or hate them, I think they do have a pretty good authenticity chip there.
Meghan Markle showed up thinking she was about to team up with the queen of reality TV. But Hollywood does not open its doors for everyone, not even for a duchess.
All-in-one shampoo and his shaving foam and his razor. Well, listen, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. We ought to do that, Kinsey.
The celebrity gossip world is going wild after news came out that Meghan Markle tried to show up at Kris Jenner's house without an invite and was told to leave. For someone who has been carefully trying to climb her way into the top level of Hollywood, this was supposed to be her big power move. Instead, people are now saying it turned into one of her most embarrassing mistakes so far.
Where Meghan's really where she was always looking, which was not royalty, it was not being an actual influencer in the world. She really just wants to be a Kardashian. That is her.
Since leaving royal life, Meghan Markle has been following a clear plan to make herself a big name in Hollywood. She made deals with major streaming services, gave important interviews, and built connections with powerful people. But if this situation with Kris Jenner shows anything, it is that even the smartest plan can fail when the moves are not read the right way.
How's her business empire growing?
So, Mark, there's a new story coming from the Daily Mail that says she has struggled to find a CEO for American Riviera Orchard, and they said that there are interest.
In the entertainment world, getting access means everything. But that access only comes when both sides see a benefit, not just because someone assumes they deserve it. Meghan's reported choice to show up at Kris Jenner's house without warning shows she misunderstood how Hollywood's power system works. Kris is not only a reality TV star, she is a business mastermind who turns every single meeting into a strategy move. Meghan has often painted herself as the brilliant woman who married into the royal family, saying they were basically too simple for her and that she was destined for bigger things. But no, Meghan, meeting with someone like Kris is not just casual. It is a business deal, one that has to be worth the time of both people involved. Meghan may have hoped it would spark talk of working together or at least open the door for future projects. But since there was no trust built or plan in place, her move came off as sudden, even a bit pushy. In celebrity culture, dropping by unplanned does not work the same way it does with regular friendships. Instead, it can look like bad manners.
Woman who married into the royal family and, they were just too, basically what she always said was too dumb for her, and that she went on and achieved these great things. No, Meghan.
A meeting with her isn't.
Instead of seeing Meghan's surprise visit as a bold move, people close to Kris think she saw it as an unnecessary interruption. And in Hollywood, everything depends on the image you leave behind. One wrong move can make people see you as difficult or even desperate. Those are two labels no celebrity ever wants tied to their name. For Meghan, this was not just a small social mistake, it was a serious step backward in her strategy.
She proves that via this Instagram post.
I know, and then Nancy...
When Meghan's SUV pulled up to the gates of Kris Jenner's house, she ran into the first and toughest obstacle in Hollywood networking, the gatekeeper. These people are not just regular security guards. They are specially trained to control access for some of the biggest names in the world. Their job is to keep out anyone who is not on the schedule or officially cleared, no matter how famous they are or what title they once had.
Not been able to secure a person. Somebody from Netflix has said, well, I've got a weird idea. What if we help you manage not only...
People who know how the Kardashian security works say Meghan tried to explain why she was there, hinting that she had news or chances Kris would be excited to hear about. But in Hollywood, gatekeepers follow very strict rules. If there's no official approval from the main person in charge, they will not and legally cannot let anyone inside.
To ally yourself with this family, is there not a bit of hypocrisy? Given the previous comments that they've made about, for example, the skin tone of their baby's skin. Now, I'm actually not calling the Kardashians out for that. I think they were having an honest conversation, but I think it does show you.
When Kris's team got the call upstairs, the answer was said to be short and sharp. Not today. In Hollywood, those 3 words mean more than just bad timing. They can also hint that the person does not want to engage at all. For Meghan, who was used to VIP treatment in politics, charities, and media circles, that rejection would have been a tough reminder that Hollywood plays by its own set of rules and has a very different pecking order.
That could come out associated, whether that is jam or whether it's pots and pans, whatever that may be. Now, the Daily Mail has framed this as failure, but I think that this is a total win for Meghan Markle because Netflix has never done this.
One of the most revealing parts of this situation is that Kris Jenner did not even pick up Meghan Markle's call. According to talk around the industry, when Meghan saw she was not getting through security, she asked the staff to check with Kris directly, probably expecting at least a quick chat or maybe a promise to talk later. But the phone never rang.
It's because she wants the Kardashians' attention. She doesn't really care about the royal family. And you have to think about the time when Meghan Markle made those allegations. It was at the height of BLM and...
In Hollywood, refusing to take a call from someone like Meghan is not just about being too busy. It is about sending a clear message. Kris Jenner is famous for knowing how to manage relationships with everyone, from new influencers to world-famous stars. If she had wanted to give Meghan a chance, even just a small opening, she easily could have. Her choice not to do so says a lot about how she judged the value of that interaction.
Gets to point the finger at Netflix and say, this didn't fail because of me, it failed because I put some people.
For Meghan, who is used to being seen as important in both political and entertainment worlds, being ignored like that would have felt like a big hit. PR experts point out that even a polite, "we'll plan something soon," could have made things look smoother, but instead, the sudden rejection came across as an intentional snub, which only made the gossip headlines hit harder.
Protests and everything to sort of try to shield herself as a victim. And what's happened over the several years...
The Kardashian-Jenner brand grows stronger by linking with big names that boost their image or bring new business chances. If Kris did not see that kind of value in Meghan, she had no reason to get involved. Hollywood chatter saw that silence as a smart power play. In a world where image is everything, being ignored can sometimes hurt more than being openly criticized. And forget the racism excuse. No, no, no. Meghan mainly wanted out of the royal family because she was eager to become part of the Kardashian world. And this moment was not a one-time thing. People in the industry have been saying for months that Meghan has been trying to connect with the Kardashian-Jenner family, but it has not really worked out.
Meghan's jam.
This is a family show, Mark.
Stories about Meghan sending expensive gift baskets to the family have been popping up in gossip columns, along with guesses that some of her media moments were little hints about wanting to connect with them. But none of those efforts seem to have been returned in public. The truth is, Meghan does not have strong talent or a solid work ethic, no matter how hard she tries to show otherwise. So this idea that she was going to come to Hollywood and suddenly succeed at things she could not do before was always going to be unrealistic. And now we are really seeing that play out. The Kardashians run their brand with very careful control. Teaming up with anyone, even someone with Meghan's level of fame, is a choice they weigh closely against possible PR problems. With Meghan's controversial public image, especially after her dramatic exit from royal life and her open criticism of the monarchy, The Kardashian team may see more risk than reward in linking up with her.
Racism narrative. No. She just wanted to leave the royal family because she desperately wanted to be a Kardashian. And
this does not mean the Kardashians stay away from controversy. Not at all. But they pick their partnerships very carefully, usually choosing people who can directly add value to the empire they already built. If Kris Jenner and her daughters did not see a smart reason to link up with Meghan in public, it makes sense that they have stayed away. I actually do not dislike the Kardashians. I even interviewed some of them back when I was doing showbiz work, Kim and Kris in particular. And what I always noticed about them is that they are hard workers who keep pushing. The rejection at the gate was just the latest and most obvious sign of that distance. Meghan may have thought this could be her big turning point, but instead, it highlighted a truth that is becoming harder to ignore. In the Kardashian-Jenner world, access is not only about being famous, it is about perfectly fitting into a story they are writing. And Meghan is simply not part of that story.
She allegedly has sent these to 50 different celebrities, and what they're trying to do is allegedly...
One reason this whole situation blew up so fast is because it did not stay hidden. Whether it was by chance or on purpose, paparazzi caught pictures of Meghan's SUV sitting outside Kris Jenner's gated entrance. These were not fancy red carpet shots. They were plain, frozen images of a stalled moment. Her own daughter with Ray J. Gross! Still, the Kardashians work non-stop to build what they have. Some people think the paparazzi being there might not have been random. The Kardashian-Jenner family is famous for carefully managing their public image, often giving photographers a heads up to shape the story. If Kris's team wanted the world to notice this moment, letting those photos happen would have been a very clear way to show that Meghan was not part of their inner circle.
Really hard, and Meghan Markle neither has talent nor a good work ethic. And so this whole idea that she was going to come to Hollywood and achieve the great things she couldn't on her own was always going to be a fool's errand, and I think we're really seeing that.
Even if the photos happened by accident, the effect was still the same. Within hours, celebrity news pages on social media were posting them, adding captions that made Meghan look like she had been turned away. In today's fast-moving viral cycle, those pictures quickly became the official version of the story, a story Meghan's team would have almost no chance of changing. So she keeps working hard, Britney style, but the issue is that people had to dig months back just to find an image of her putting effort in. Honestly, it felt lazy, like it did not even match the moment. Maybe the clearest part of this whole incident is Kris Jenner's total silence. In Hollywood, silence is almost never an accident. It is a planned move. Kris has spent decades perfecting the art of media control, knowing that even one comment can either blow up or shut down a story. By saying nothing, she allows the tale to live on without giving it more weight through acknowledgement. And for Meghan, that silence cuts deep. A denial or even a friendly, "we'll connect soon," could have softened how the public saw it. Instead, Kris's refusal to say anything gives off a quiet but strong message. Meghan's effort to get into the Kardashian-Jenner circle is not even worth talking about. In the entertainment world, being ignored can sometimes do more harm than being openly criticized. And for Meghan, this feels like a heavy PR hit. She claims she puts love, effort, and passion into this journey, but to many it comes across as cheap and tacky. She is rarely seen using her own product, and the effort looks half-hearted. Kris, on the other hand, has built her empire by only partnering with people who add real value to the Kardashian-Jenner brand. She has no reason to comment on rumors unless it benefits her side, and in this case, it clearly does not. That makes her silence both intentional and powerful.
Beyonce had this clothing line called Ivy Park, and she sent huge trunks full of free clothes to Reese Witherspoon and Kim Kardashian, and it was Zendaya and everybody.
Once reports of the incident started spreading in the gossip world, Meghan's team was said to have acted fast to try and reshape the story. Words like misunderstanding and mistimed visit began showing up in friendly media outlets, making it sound more like a mix-up in scheduling than a flat-out rejection. But in Hollywood, timing is about more than just the clock. It is about the situation, the image it creates, and the relationships behind it.
The Kardashians, I used to interview some of them during my time doing showbiz, Kim and Kris specifically. And what I would say about them is I love the fact that they are grafters.
The problem for Meghan was that the photos and the steady flow of details whispered to the press told another story. On social media, most people leaned into the idea that she had been snubbed, with many pointing out that the Kardashians almost never deal with surprise visitors. That reality made the misunderstanding excuse sound weak. And Britney, you even posted that it actually looked like the relaunch of As Ever had been a mess. Look at it. Almost 100 hours have passed, and it is obvious Meghan Markle's wine brand is officially struggling. Instead of changing the focus, Meghan ended up stuck in a cycle where every attempt to downplay the situation only made people more curious. By the end of the week, the Blocked at the Gate story had fully taken root in the gossip world, not because it was the biggest scandal of her career, but because it showed a rare public rejection in a world where moments like that are usually hidden.
They're not grifters, they are grafters. You could argue that how they came to fame was not desirable. Kris leaked.
In Los Angeles, power is measured by how relevant you are right now. Your streaming numbers, your social media engagement, your brand's reach, and your ability to make headlines that turn into business. By those standards, the Kardashian-Jenner family sits right at the very top of today's celebrity food chain. Their customer base is huge, but every buyer has to purchase 3 items at a time. We also saw that Meghan's brand only had about 20% return customers, which is actually on the very low side. The average return rate is usually between 20 and 40%, with 30 being solid and 40 being strong. The Kardashians, on the other hand, built their own media machine with a global audience and a steady stream of content that keeps them in control of pop culture. Partnering with them could have been a huge win for Meghan, but the Gate incident only showed how careful they are about choosing who gets close. Meghan's surprise visit went against that careful strategy. Instead of looking like an equal partner ready to collaborate, her arrival without notice made it seem like she was trying to push her way in where she was not invited. Whatever Meghan hoped to gain from that visit, one thing is certain. Hollywood saw it, Hollywood talked about it, and Hollywood will never forget how those gates stayed shut.